Hello everybody, what's happening? Welcome back to another video. At the forefront of everything is going to be Neymar. I think we're going to be talking about Neymar once again, but there's a couple of other topics that I do want to talk about. Let's see here. The first topic is really Neymar, and like I said before, I did change the graphics a little. I'm still having trouble just getting the font right and everything like that, but trying to change things, trying to experiment with stuff. So hopefully, as the channel does progress, hopefully I do try to incorporate more stuff into the channel, things along those lines. Maybe, coming out with different podcasts or things like that. And like I said, if you guys do want to see anything on the channel, please feel free to let me know. But welcome. Matthias says hi. Hi, Matthias. I'll get to see you on the stream. Welcome back. Hopefully your day was good and not as busy as yesterday. I know you had quite a busy day yesterday. Hopefully it's a little bit more chill today. Let's see. So we'll get started into the Neymar. I think the Neymar one is really at the forefront of everything. So obviously his future is up in the air. We know PSG, we know he's going to leave PSG at the end of the summer. And it's just about whether he really goes to Real Madrid or Barcelona. And right now it looks like he's going to go to Barcelona. That's looking like the likely option for Neymar. Whether a deal can be made or not, we'll just have to see. It's going to take a bit of time. And I think that's only normal. This is a big deal, obviously, with a lot of financial implications, a lot of parties involved. And but it's one thing is clear is that Neymar wants to leave PSG, and PSG obviously have removed everything from the stores. So Neymar's going to leave, and it's just about whether he goes to Real Madrid or Barcelona. And for me, like I said before, I think he is going to go to Barcelona. I think that's going to be ultimately what will happen. And I think at the moment, what we're seeing is that PSG and Barcelona, they've met, and they were, I wouldn't say they were getting closer to negotiations, but obviously Barcelona have met PSG, and then they've offered a few players, but PSG have rejected them. And I think that Barcelona, what they're doing right now is just really testing the waters, really just trying to see where PSG will be willing to go with the deal. And I think what they're trying to do, obviously, too, is that Barcelona are really trying to push it till the end, so that way they're trying to basically have PSG relinquish all their power in terms of Neymar. They're trying to give up all the power that they have over Neymar, and essentially, because Neymar is going to leave at the end of the season, they're waiting pretty much, or not till the end of the season, but the end of the transfer window. What they're waiting is that they're pretty much just waiting till the end, so that way PSG really don't have any more power, and they just have to accept anything. So I think that's at the point where we're at. Let's see. Matthias says, I want Mbappe more than Neymar, but we will have a strong attack if we get Neymar. Yeah, I would like Mbappe too, but I think Mbappe is for the future, and I think we all know that. We have to think about the present. What's best for Real Madrid at the present? We need midfielders, and we need Neymar. I wouldn't say Neymar, but we need someone else in the attack. And if Neymar can fit on the right hand side, then we could do something with, obviously Hazard, Benzema, or Jovic, and then Neymar on the right or something along those lines. I know people were talking about the attacking midfielder option for Neymar, which obviously could be a very good option. We know he likes to get the ball deep, and he can play it forward. He can get past the midfield. So we've seen that time and time again for PSG. What I would say about right now, there's a lot of speculation about certain things, and I'm just going to touch on them really quick. It's not going to be, I would say, the lengthiest of videos today, but it'll just be to get some of the things out of the way. So, let's see. Neymar obviously just got back with training with PSG. I don't know if he's alone in training, or I don't know if he's with the whole team. Of course, if you guys do know, please do let me know, because from what I saw, he was training with the whole team, and I didn't see him working alone, but the reports did state that he was training alone. So I don't know what's going on there. Let's see here. And then, obviously Barcelona have offered a few players. I think they offered Coutinho and money or something like that, and PSG rejected it. I think what PSG would like is Coutinho and Semedo for and 120 million for Neymar. So obviously PSG are just I would say they're overinflating Neymar. It's just to the point where it just becomes a little bit ridiculous. But anyways, World Soccer Institute, hi, welcome. Hey, World Soccer Institute, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being on. Really appreciate it. Always like to welcome new people. Caesar, hey, Caesar, good to see you. Don't believe in what you read. Oh, definitely. I don't believe in a lot of stuff that I read. I'm just trying to cover most of the rumors and just trying to discern, what the rumors really. I would say I'm trying to reject, the false stuff, I guess, of the rumors. That's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to discern more than anything, I guess. Hey, good to see you on the channel. Thank you for being on. Really appreciate it as always. Hopefully all you guys have had a good day today. For me, I don't think it was very eventful. It was just work, and it was just a day of training at work, really. So it wasn't, it wasn't an eventful day. Matthias says, I'm really pissed about the rumors about Jovic leaving. Yeah, that's a weird one too. Jovic leaving is a weird one, but I don't think there's any substance to it. I've been reading a little bit about it, and I know Marca did talk about it a little bit, but I don't think it's very true. If you're talking about the veracity of that claim, and you look deeper into it, this is according to Serbian reports, and Marca just said to take it with a grain of salt, and that's really what I take it. I mean, we just bought this player, so I really don't think that's true. I really doubt that Jovic would go out on loan, and the reason I say that is because we just bought him. We just bought him. Why would we send out someone we just bought? In the Kubo scenario, I totally understand it because Kubo's a youngster. He would be playing in Castilla. He needs to get some first team action, and Kubo does need those minutes in La Liga. But if you're talking about someone like Luka Jovic, I mean, I really don't. There's no way he could go on loan. That's what I have to say about it. It says Neymar has a 5-star weak foot in FIFA, so he can probably if you rely on FIFA stats, I guess. But no, but you know what? Neymar does have a really good weak foot, so. Yeah, I mean, it could be an experiment that, we could obviously try if he comes to the club. Do I think he'll come to the club? I still think he will go to Barcelona just because the Messi factor is huge in that aspect. And I don't think he will want to fracture that relationship. I just, I think that's only normal. He's got a good relationship with Messi, so yeah. World Soccer Institute says, by the way, I heard we sent scouts to watch N'Golo Kanté, the UEFA Super Cup match ad, plan to pursue him next year. I did hear about that. World Soccer Institute, thank you for bringing that up, actually. I was going to talk about it a little bit, but I wasn't sure whether to talk. I wanted to, let it kind of settle, see what else would come about. But I did see a couple reports talking about that. I've always thought he was a great player in N'Golo Kanté. He's a very, very good player. He's got I would say he's fit. I mean, he runs all over the pitch, and I really like him. If we can get him at Real Madrid, that would be great. If it's in the CDM position, I don't care, but he is a world-class player, and that's what Real Madrid are. They essentially have world-class players, and any world-class players we should go after, and N'Golo Kanté, no doubt that he is that. World Soccer Institute says, I'm actually a little soccer league, but with a new channel. Thanks. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Sorry about that. Nice. I guess it's a nice name, actually. World Soccer Institute says, also, did you hear rumors about Ezequiel Palacios? I hear we reached an agreement for him in January, but he got injured, but promised to go after him in summer. I didn't hear about that. I did see the Felipe Jota, I think it is. And he looks good. I would say he looks like a pretty good winger. He got similar qualities to Joao Felix, and what I have to say is he does look promising. He is young, so maybe just wait a little bit more. You never know with youngsters, but he does look good. He's got similar qualities to Joao Felix, and he could be someone to look out for in the future. World Soccer Institute says, also, what do you think of Ruben Neves? He's fantastic. Ruben Neves is a player I would love to have at Madrid, and I would say. Is he ready? Of course. I mean, I would say, of course, he's ready. Almost, he is really that good. Like I said, I've seen a few of his games, and really sets the tempo really well. Let's see about Neymar. I mean, what I have to say about Neymar is that, like I said, I doubt we'll get him. I don't think we'll really get him, just because I think he wants to go to Barcelona. I don't think he necessarily has an affinity for Barcelona, but I think the relationship with Messi is a huge factor. And then, Barcelona right now are just testing the waters just to see what they can do with PSG, how far they're willing to stretch everything. But I think the thing here is that Barcelona what I have to say is that they're going to go to the end, and that's when PSG will really relinquish their power. They'll give up their power, and they'll just say, you know what, we'll take whatever you guys got, we'll just take it, and I think that Barcelona are just waiting for that moment, to say, PSG, from PSG, you know what, we'll just take what we can get, because I think at this point PSG are just absolutely done with Neymar. You can see it by, the lack of merchandise, in association with Neymar at the PSG store. So I think that's what Barcelona are doing. They're playing the little waiting game. They're testing the waters right now, see how far they can push things. But there you have it for Neymar. That's really the stuff that I wanted to cover about him. World Soccer Institute says also, what do you think of Ruben Neves? Ruben Neves, actually, sorry, I answered that a little already. Did you hear about the German wonder kid, Yusufa Mukoko? He's a 14-year-old playing in the U19s. He scored 6 goals in that match. He is that good. Check him out. I hear the Perez is keen. I'll check him out. Thank you for that. World Soccer Institute, formerly known as Little Soccer League Academy. 14 years old, though, still very young. I mean, if he's, we'll have to check in the next few years. He's still young. But Sia says, how much did we spend total this summer? I think it's about 300 million euros. I can't remember if that's net spend or if that's actually in total, but yeah, it's about 300 million euros, I think. And like I said, I don't know if it's net spend or if it's actually, in total. And then Matthias says, I think we need to buy one player each position. Right wing. Oh, I see. Okay. Subsequently, a right wing, a CDM, and a CM, and maybe center back. Those are good shouts. I think, very much so. I think right now what we would need, for Real Madrid, and obviously this is Real Madrid, we need a right winger, CDM for sure, just as a backup CDM, but you could say a CDM to a certain extent. And then center mid, obviously, I think we need 2 center mid. And then a center back, if we are to play something like a 3-5-2, then you definitely need a center back. If you are to play something like 4-3-3, I mean, a new center back would be ideal, but I would say that's the last priority if you are to play 4-3-3. If you are to play 5-3-2, then center back would be probably at the top, in terms of permutations. So there you have it. World Soccer Institute says, I hear we want to go after Mukoko. He looks really promising. Last season, he scored 50 goals in the German Youth League. He already scored 20 or 30 goals in a few matches. And I hear top clubs are chasing. Yeah, that's he is young, but I mean, I guess so. Why not? Get them while they're young, I guess, right? And sounds really weird. Don't want you guys to think wrong, but I mean, it could be good just because it's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. But I guess Real Madrid are more associated with getting players who are at the top level already. World Soccer Institute says, I also hear Perez and Real Madrid want to buy him this summer. Yeah, it could be good. How much money do we have? Or do you think we have left to spend? I mean, this is Real Madrid. We have to spend a little bit more than what we got at the moment. I know that when you look at Barcelona, Griezmann, De Jong, and potentially Neymar, that's about 400 million. You're talking, 400 million. So I think we should spend around 450 million euros if you're talking. Maybe it's not very pragmatic, but this is Real Madrid, and I think over the years we haven't made that many. I don't want to say over the years, but last year we didn't make that many transfers. Is it last year? Yeah, we didn't make that many transfers, last year. Yeah, we did get Courtois. Yeah, we did get Vinicius, but for a club of this stature, we could have spent much more. IA says only a club like Barcelona will go after a player that is suing them for over 30 million. Yeah, and Barcelona is also suing Neymar for 8.5 million, and the hearing for that case is next month. Neymar, I don't know. It's just crazy, right? I mean, Neymar is just. It's so weird, that situation. I mean, really, you're going to see your own player over 8.5 million. But you know what, Barcelona, from what I've heard, I think James was alluding to this, they're $888 million euros in debt. So wouldn't be surprised, they're trying to get the most out of their money, I guess. They're trying to recuperate some money, to pay off that debt. And what better way, I guess, than to sue your own players. I'm just kidding. But let's see. Vinicius Jr. I know there's a thing about Vinicius Jr. and I don't really think that's true either. And the reason I say that is because there were several different reports about this. Some reports were saying that Vinicius Jr. was offered. Some reports were saying that Real Madrid pretty much denied any request for Vinicius Jr. So I don't think there's any truth to this. Vinicius is one for the future. I think at the moment what I would like to see with Vinicius Jr. is him potentially going on loan, or what I would like to see is him taking the right-hand position. The left-hand position, is Eden Hazard's right now. Of course, if he gets injured, then Vinicius can play there, but how many minutes will Vinicius really get there? That's the question. And for me, what I would like to see from Vinicius is for him to go on a loan move, and the reason I say that is because if he doesn't go on a loan move, how many minutes will he really get here at Real Madrid, And the last thing we want to do is hamper his development, He's a player that's up and coming. I believe he's got what it takes to become a Real Madrid player. But at the moment, presently, he's not quite there yet, and I think a loan move would benefit him. Let's see here. I hear Perez, how much money we club? Okay, so Fade Zero Archer, welcome to the channel. I think you're new. Thank you for being on. We should have kept Odegaard instead of loaning him. It has improved a lot since last season. It would be perfect at right wing for us. Yeah, much better than Lucas Vasquez. Yeah, I know. Lucas Vasquez, I think, should have been sold in the summer. And, a guy, he's probably gotten a little bit more stake than maybe he deserves. He's been pretty much a good servant to the club. And maybe he's never been Real Madrid quality, but what I would say about Lucas Vasquez, he's never really put in a wrong foot, maybe other than last season. But, who hasn't last season? So, but I think at this point, yeah, I would sell Lucas Vasquez. We need someone else on the right wing. I mean, we're moving on. World Soccer Institute says, did you hear about Jadon Sancho? I hear we're targeting Jadon Sancho along with Man United and other clubs very heavily. Yeah, I did see him. I did see a few of his things. I mean, he looks really good. I have to say, he's got the skills, and especially at that young age, he looks really good, and it seems like he could come good. But I'm always apprehensive when it comes to English players. But hey, Gareth Bale made his mark here, and Kieran Trippier is moving here, so it's always worth the risk, I'd say. Like I said, I'm always apprehensive when it comes to them, but it could be worth the risk. He looks really good. That's what I have to say about him. I says, I also really just want Neymar for the Camp Nou Clasico. That game will be something else if Neymar joined us. I know, Neymar joining us, I feel like it could be really good just because of all the contention that comes along with, Neymar. And if he makes the Real Madrid move, he's just even more hated throughout the world. If he goes to Barcelona, I mean, people will be like, oh, he's back at Barcelona and stuff like that. But if he comes to Real Madrid, he'll be hated all throughout the world. It's going to be weird if he joins us. But he's cynical in nature. He could join us. But we'll have to see on that one. But yeah, I would like to see that. And Matthias says, how worried are you about Madrid 1 to 10? How worried am I? I would say I'm pretty worried, but it's not too bad. I would say right now is going to be a 5 just because it's preseason. Look, we can't take it too seriously, but what I have to say is that there hasn't really been any convincing signs that Real Madrid are really going to go really far this season in terms of winning Champions Leagues or trophies or anything like that. So I'm a little bit worried, but if you ask me maybe at the beginning of the season, maybe a quarter way in, maybe I can answer better. But at the moment, I'd say 5. Let's see here. So yeah, Vinicius obviously. IA says 10. Yeah, I mean, I can understand the apprehensiveness or the worriness. It's kind of normal. And Jonas, good to see you. Thank you for being on. Real should bring Neymar at any cost. We need goals. Yeah, I agree with that too. I think that Real Madrid should be pursuing Neymar a lot more, arduently than this. I think at the moment, Real Madrid really aren't. They're not really going after any players so diligently. And I think I would like to see Real Madrid be a little bit more concrete in their transfer activity. We saw, Pogba. I mean, the 27 million euro bid, and then James Rodriguez. It seems like a big joke. We need to go after the players a little bit more. And Neymar is one that we do need here at all costs. And I think we need Neymar more than Barcelona need Neymar. Yeah, Barcelona have Suarez and aging Suarez, but they have Messi and they have Griezmann, they have Dembele, they have Coutinho. I mean, they could work with that. I think Real Madrid really need Neymar a lot more than Barcelona need Neymar. As ironic as that sounds. The World Soccer Institute says also, what CDMs would you recommend? And also for transfers, who would you sell and who would you target and buy? N'Golo Kanté is a good shout. I would love to see him at Madrid. Another CDM, I would say Marcos Llorente, but no, I'm just kidding. But N'Golo Kanté, like you said earlier, I think that would be, absolutely perfect. And, we do need another CDM or someone who can play a CM or something along those lines. But Kanté, like you said earlier, I'll take him 100%. Matthias says, why can't we go for ZX from Ajax for 25 and Van de Beek for 60, Neves for 50? Neves for 50, I think it's going to be a little bit more for someone like Ruben Neves. I think Ruben Neves is going to go for a little bit more. And the reason I say that is because he is being not scouted or seen by top clubs amongst Europe. There's competition to buy him, so he's not going to be an easy steal. So I think he's going to be more in the region of maybe 80 million or something along those lines. But he looks fantastic, Ruben Neves, I have to say. And Ziyech and Van de Beek, yeah, we should go for those players. They're young. I mean, well, Ziyech is probably like 26 or something along those lines, but they're still young. I mean, they still got hunger in them. They want to succeed, and I think they would be excellent acquisitions for Real Madrid. But I think Real Madrid really are going after someone who's at Galactico at the moment. Let's see. Fade Zero Archer says looks like Napoli are close to signing Lozano. For 40 million, that's a bargain in today's overinflated market. He will be the perfect replacement for Asensio. Yeah, Hervé Lozano is a good player. Is he Real Madrid quality? I mean, I guess you could say yeah. I haven't seen much of him, so I really don't know. But is he Real Madrid quality? I mean, I don't know. But there's always something about Mexicans. You know, a lot of Europe, I would say, really. It's not that they condescend Mexicans, but they really put them at a level that's inferior. And I think it's kind of sad to see that, just because yeah, you know, there's some top Mexican players that do come through the European kind of football, and they're really they always seem to be overlooked. But Hervé Lozano seems like a good player. Whether he's Real Madrid quality or not is a different question. But for 40 million, I mean, why not just try it? You know, the worst that can happen is he just lasts here for a year or two, and then we just sell him. You know, but he could be the perfect replacement for Asensio, like Fade Zero Archer was saying. Oscar, good to see you on the channel. Thank you for being on. We need Donny. We can't go this season with 5 midfielders. Yeah, I know. We need someone like, and I'm guessing you're alluding to Van de Beek or Van de Beek. Sorry, I will say Van de Beek, but Van de Beek. Yes, we need someone like that. We need some tenacity in the midfield. I think at the moment, like I said, we're bereft of midfield quality, and we need to get the best out of our current batch of midfielders, and we also need to get some new fresh blood in, because at the moment, yeah, we do have some complacency in the midfield. Let's see. World Soccer Institute says, I hear PSG are demanding Vinicius, as they label him anti-Neymar in terms of his behavior, and also Modric and a hefty amount of cash. What I have to say is that I think Real Madrid could do that deal without having Vinicius in that deal, just because the power that they have over Neymar at the moment, PSG, is dwindling down, is declining. And I think at the end of the transfer window, they're going to have to be kind of, they're going to have to accept anything, just because I think PSG really want to get rid of Neymar. And I think at the end of the transfer window is really when we'll see Neymar moving somewhere else. So I think that's in a couple weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks now. So that's when we'll see Neymar being moved on, and it's just whether it's Real Madrid or Barcelona. But like I said, I think it's going to be Barcelona. But I know PSG are willing to do negotiations with Real Madrid, but I don't know if that's going to take place. I think Neymar still wants to move to Barcelona. Caesar says, as a Chicano, I would love Chucky Lozano at Real Madrid, but he isn't at the level just yet. Thank you for that, Caesar. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate that comment, just because I haven't really watched much of him. But I do like Mexican players. I think there's something in them that that a lot of European I wouldn't say talent don't have, but what I would say is that Mexicans, what I like about them is, especially when they're in Europe, is that they're willing to put in that dirty hard work, and that's really what I like about them. And if we can bring, if we can have someone like that in the team, it's kind of like Mariano Diaz. Mariano Diaz kind of has those similar qualities or attributes, and Chucky Lozano, I'm sure, has that. But like Caesar said, he isn't at the level just yet. And Real Madrid, you have to be at a certain standard. It's Real Madrid is associated to winning trophies and things along those lines. So whether he's at that level or not, it's up in the air. Caesar says, also, if PSV knew Real Madrid would be coming for him, it wouldn't cost 40 million. Exactly, Caesar. You make a good point right there. It would be a lot more. You could talk about 60, 70 million easily when Real Madrid or Manchester United or anything, or Barcelona just come knocking at the door. World Soccer Institute says we would need to wrap up Donny, Pogba, Neymar, Palacios, and do some good business in the January transfer window, like Neves, Palacios, a quality center back. Let's see what happens to Jovic. I think Jovic will come good. I think we need to be patient. I know there's a little bit of stick for him. I have seen that, and what I have to say about Jovic is we just need to give him some time. It's just the preseason right now. I think he will come good. He looks fantastic. He has the strength that he needs to be successful, and obviously we haven't seen the finishing, but we've seen it in the Bundesliga. So it's gonna come. It's gonna come naturally. It's just a matter of time, what I have to say. Pogba, obviously, Neymar, those are good options. I think Van de Beek, and then I think as Matthias was saying, why not go for the Van de Beek and Ziyech? Just because we need to fill those positions, and Van de Beek is Real Madrid quality. Ziyech, I mean, whether he's ready or not, that's a different question. But just for right now, just for the moment, while Asensio is injured, why not? Why not just try it? They're very cheap options, is what I have to say. Let's see here. I think. Jonas says, I think Jovic is right. He's only 21 years old. He needs some experience to become a finished product. That's a good point, Jonas. I can't necessarily disagree with you on that, just because he is young. He maybe he could improve a little bit, and maybe he won't get the time that he's needed to develop at Real Madrid. He's 21 years old. He needs to develop a little bit more. But what I have to say, maybe in contention to that, is that Jovic, he seems ready. He seems ready, and I think he could get that playing time at Real Madrid. And I think it's up to us, or I should say, it's up to the fans to give him some confidence. I think if we give him some confidence, he could do great things. I mean, we've seen this in the Bundesliga. So I think he's good. I think he's ready. But I think, we just need to see a little bit more confidence, and I think that'll come with due time. Fade Zero Archer style. What do you think our best playing style is? Possession base or counter attack? I think both. You could say both, But yeah, I mean, you don't want to counter attack too aggressively, like in Mourinho's era. I mean, Mourinho's era is very, very aggressive counter attack. But if we can get something, if we can go inculcate both, I guess you could say it could be good. Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Something like that could be good. I know Real Madrid are really, it's not analogous, but counterattack and Real Madrid really go hand in hand. I love to see counterattacking more than possession-based football. So, of course, I would like to see counterattacking football at Real Madrid, because that's mostly, I think, what we're associated with. And Barcelona, obviously, is more possession-based. Oscar says Real Madrid need one more star, but I doubt Neymar is coming to Real Madrid. I don't think Neymar is coming to Real Madrid too, but I think Real Madrid will continue being in for him, and I think it's going to be a possibility. And I think that just comes down to, if Barcelona really don't get anything right for the Neymar situation, if they can't get the deal through, then I think a Neymar to Real Madrid is a possibility. But like I said, it's very tough to make that happen. We'll just have to see. And then Caesar says PSG don't have to sell Neymar. He has 3 years left on their contract. They can just let him waste away some of his prime years and build around Mbappe. They could technically, I guess, but I don't know if the fan base will be necessarily happy with that. But I guess they could do that. I mean, it's kind of like our situation with Gareth Bale, where, yeah, Gareth Bale, I guess, technically could stay at the club, but he is going to have to be used. Is it different? I mean, they're both very analogous, right? You look at the Neymar situation and Gareth Bale; they're a little bit similar, in that aspect, and they could technically do that. But I mean, having removed all that merchant side from the PSG store, I don't know if it's glue, if they're they're just done with him, and maybe it would be a bad apple. Maybe it would be bad to have him at PSG. I know he could stay there potentially, but maybe it could just be a worse thing that he stays there, What I would say is it would be a lot worse for him to stay there than to just run his contract down. And maybe that's why they'd be willing to sell him. IA says the Palacios deal is off. Thank you for that, IA. Really appreciate that. Real Madrid told his agent that we are looking for more experienced players now after last season. Yeah, I think experience does help. We have a lot of youngsters, and of course, you want the mix of the two, and you want I would say a very good division of the two. You don't want to have just purely youngsters or purely experienced players. You want to mix the two, and then there you have it. IA just corroborating that point. So World Soccer Institute says I hear Eriksen is still keen on a Real Madrid move and have supposedly rejected offers from other clubs, and Juventus are eyeing him. I have been hearing that as well. World Soccer Institute, that Eriksen would be keen. What Eriksen wants at the end of the day is a Real Madrid move, and maybe at this point it could be a good option just to go after Van Beek and Christian Eriksen or something along those lines. Eriksen really wants to move to Real Madrid, and why not just do it? Maybe it could be better than signing someone like Paul Pogba essentially. And I have said that in the past, that maybe we could go along a different trajectory and sign someone like Christian Eriksen and Van Beek or Bruno Fernandes, and instead of getting just one, I would say marquee signing like a Paul Pogba or something along those lines. World Soccer Institute, do you think Eder Militao is the new Pepe? I think he could be. If he can get a few kicks up someone's backside, like Pepe did a few years ago. No, I'm just kidding, but he does look good. Eder Militao, I like what I've seen so far from him. He's very young, 21, I think, years of age, but he's Portuguese. He's coming from FC Porto. I mean, yeah, he could be the new Pepe. We'll just have to wait in a few years, but yeah, he's looking really good, I have to say. And then let's see here. Caesar says at Fate RG. I know it's a reply, but I'm just gonna read it out anyways. What do you think is the best style? Personally, I think Real Madrid will have to be a counterattacking this team this year. Yeah, I think so too as well. If I'm looking at maybe some of the things. Yeah, I would like Real Madrid are they're always associated with counterattacking. I would like to see Real Madrid do taking on more counter-attacking option and a possession-based option. And the reason that is, I think it's just for me. I like to see that a lot more, and I think that's just very subjective. But yeah, counter-attacking for sure. World Soccer Institute, also Pogba is still very keen on a move. Manchester United are reluctant. Yeah, I think you're totally right. I think you have a very good point. Pogba, he said all the things he needed to say to make the Real Madrid move, and I think the reason he hasn't made it is just because Manchester United don't want to sell him. I think Pogba wants to make the move, and he wouldn't have said the things he needed to say if he didn't want to make the move. So I think he wants to make the move, but I think Manchester United don't want to sell him because they can't sell him because essentially they have no players. They obviously know that Paul Pogba is very marketable. He brings in a lot of money, and so that's why I think Manchester United don't really want to get rid of Paul Pogba because essentially he brings in a lot of money. Let's see here. Fate Zero Archer says Caesar Dot. Yeah, as David says, thank you. Real have always been known for their counterattacks. Yeah, exactly. Possession play is very hard to do, and Barca are taught about that style as is in their DNA. Good point, Fate Zero Archer. Very good point. Barcelona are very I would say associated with that. So yeah, I would like to see us take on more counterattacking style. Perry Chirima, thank you. Welcome to the channel, Perry. So I don't see any hunger in this team. Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. I'm seeing it, like I said before, I'm seeing a lot of complacency, and I think the reason that is because we're missing a little bit of depth in certain key areas. And obviously, some of these players have been, oversatiated in trophies, and I've said this too much, but yeah, they have been oversatiated in trophies, and as a result, they're just complacent. I think that's kind of normal. Having won so much, I don't think it's very easy to get that motivation back, up. I would say, and so it's only normal, I'd say, but we do need to bring in some new blood to really regalvanize this team because that's essentially what it needs. It needs a gale of fresh air is what I have to say. We need new players, who are really hungry, who are ready to make their mark at Real Madrid. And right now, we have a few players that really they're not hungry enough. They don't have that same hunger that they once had. You think about Modric, Cruz, maybe Marcelo. Before they were winning trophies, they were amazing. Yes, in their prime when they were winning trophies too, but before they were winning trophies, they had the hunger. And we need to kind of get that into the team again. Is that same kind of hunger that we were used to seeing in the past. Jonas says Real Madrid. Let's see here. Real Madrid. Whoops. Message retract, guys. Caesar says, what about Miguel Almiron? He's a ball progressing cam who plays for Newcastle. I don't know much of him actually. I'm gonna take a look at him, Caesar. I'll probably let you know. Tomorrow or something along those lines. I'll have a look at him though. 25 years of age. Is he Argentinian or Paraguayan? Could be good. I would have to check him out, but I'll let you know tomorrow, Caesar. Thanks for bringing that up. Jonas says Real Madrid should park the bus. I accidentally Real Madrid should park the bus. No. If we get Mourinho, aren't we going to park the bus? But I'm just kidding. Jonas says I accidentally deleted the comment. That's all right, Jonas. No worries for that. No, thank you for letting me know. Let's see here. So, what do I have to say? I think that's all I have to say. I don't want to get too much into it. Obviously, some of the news, I think, when you look at the veracity of it, some of it is fake. Obviously the Jovic loan, I don't think there's much to it. I know Marca have, talked about it a little bit, and I don't think there's much substance in that. The Vinicius Jr., there's a bit, some sources are saying that Vinicius Jr. included in the deal. Yeah, he was included in the deal, and some of them are saying that he was not included in the deal, that Real Madrid have denied the request. So what I have to say about Vinicius Jr. is that I don't think it's really, really true, and I don't think Real Madrid are really willing to let go of Vinicius Jr. He is a player for the future. Like I said, at the moment, I don't think he's fully there yet, but I think, in a couple of years, I think we'll see a very, very good Vinicius Jr., and I think if we could send him out on loan, or if he can get regular playing time for Real Madrid, I think that would be amazing. What I would like to see, obviously, is Vinicius Jr. getting playing time on the right, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but what I like about Vinicius Jr. on the right is he could put in the cross, with his right foot, provide some service to Jovic, because Jovic, needs that service. He's going to get it from the midfield, obviously, but we want to see it from the wings as well. And Jovic, or not Jovic, but Vinicius will provide that on the right. On the left, you see his crosses with his left foot. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. So whether he can do the job better on the left, remains to be seen, I guess. But what I would like to see from Vinicius Jr. is play on the right or playing regularly somewhere else. That's what I have to say about Vinicius Jr. But no way should we sell him. He's a very exciting prospect, and it would just be so risky to do something like that. Let's see here. And the last thing I do want to say are, basically, I'm just going over a recap really quick, and I'm going to end it in a couple minutes or so, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I just want to let you guys know. Like I said, thank you for being on the stream. Really appreciate it, as always. And the last thing, obviously, with the Neymar situation, the Neymar is going to go, I believe, all the way till the end of the summer transfer window. The future is up in the air. I think we'll have to see more towards the end what happens with Neymar. I think at the moment what Barcelona are doing, or they're trying to test the waters, and obviously Barcelona are looking to prolong this transfer saga, so that way, PSG can relinquish or give up their power, so that way, Barcelona can basically just offer anything that they could, so they can get Neymar. Obviously, PSG don't have to accept, as Cesar was saying, and obviously PSG could just stay with Neymar for the next 3 years, but. I don't know if that's really in the club's best interest, especially with the extortionate amount of wages that Neymar is on. I don't think they're going to be really interested in that, but we'll have to see on the Neymar saga. But I think for Neymar, we'll just have to wait till the end. It's really going to go till the end, I think. And then Matthias says, how far do you think we will get in the Champions League? Good question, Matthias. Good question. You put me on the spot. What I have to say is that with this squad, I don't think we'll go very far. If we do sign a Galactico signing, then I think we could go pretty far. But I can't say because it's so early. We just got preseason done. But with this squad, I'd have to say, 16? Not really expecting very far. I'm not really expecting very far with this current squad. If we do get someone, maybe 8, maybe. I'm not going to say semifinals. I think that's a bit far. Maybe in the semifinals, always a possibility. You never know, but yeah. Sheriff Barry says, no deal Vinicio, no deal Jovic, ball, just try and go, just please. Yeah. Caesar says, playing devil's advocate, if Real Madrid are really trying to win right now and get Neymar, they should go to PSG and say, take anyone but Hazard or Varane. I guess so. And Jovic, yeah, exactly. Perry Sharma says, do you think Real Madrid fans love Kubo so much because in some way he's our Messi? Yeah, he's probably something that's, I would say, not to be, it's ironic because as much as Real Madrid fans hate Messi, they also can recognize that he's a very, very good player. And I think that Real Madrid fans have, deeply always, they would have loved Messi at Real Madrid. Maybe I'm just saying this too subjectively, but I would have loved Messi at Real Madrid. I think everyone can say that. You bring up a good point, Parrish, that Kubo could, maybe is our Messi, and maybe that's something Real Madrid fans have been longing for a while. And at the moment, Kubo is very young, and as some people were saying that maybe the hype for him, it's a little bit up there, but. What I have to say also, in as a counter argument, is that he does look really good. He does look promising. He looks ready for the first team, especially at 18 years of age. His maturity is very good. His strength on the ball, considering he's not the tallest of guys or anything like that, he looks very good. But hopefully, what I had to say about Kubo is hopefully he does get a loan or something like that. I think at the current moment, to be a first teamer or something along those lines at Real Madrid. It's not that it's a bit risky, but it's too much pressure for a youngster like that. It's maybe, especially, if he gets booing or if he gets chastised. I don't think we'll see that at Real Madrid for a youngster, but if he does get that kind of treatment, it would damage him mentally. And what I would like to see is for him to go on a loan to Real Valladolid and play with a lot less pressure. But, in some way, I guess you could say he's our Messi. IA says the first game for Barcelona and Real Madrid in the league will probably shape their decisions on whether they're going after Neymar. I think so. That's a good point. I think with that first game, I think a lot of things, will I think a lot of questions that we have will be answered to some extent. I don't think all the questions will be answered, but I think most of the questions that we will have will be answered to some extent, and what areas we do need to reinforce in it and things along those lines. But there you have it, guys. I'm pretty much going to end it there. Like I said, thank you guys so much for being on. Really appreciate it as always. I wouldn't say there was too much real news today, and sometimes that can prove to be a problem, but I did want to talk about it a little bit. Some of the news, it's still relevant, it's still Real Madrid related and things along those lines, but I'm always trying to discern, what's true, what's not, and hopefully that I'll get a little bit better as that. Like I said, it's my first year still, so I'm still trying to get the gist of it and trying to learn who's true, who's not, and things like that. Sheriff Barry says, I'll never be mad for losing now because we are building the team. We have good and talented young players, so let's focus and support our great team. Yeah, that's true. Actually, Sheriff, you make a good point. We do want to back the team, especially Zinedine Zidane, someone who's won so many trophies at Real Madrid, someone who needs backing at the moment, We have to be with him in these kind of difficult times, in these tumultuous times. Zidane is enduring a very difficult spell at the moment, and we have to, I would say, support him a little bit more because he needs that support. Right now he's getting a lot of criticism, and as much as criticism can be good, there's a point where criticism can start to be bad. It starts to reach a point of diminishing returns, and I don't want to see Zidane being treated to that because for me, I always wanted Zinedine Zidane back, and yeah, maybe his tactically he's a bit inept, but what I have to say is that he's won so many trophies, and you don't do that without being lucky, I would say, or fortuitous, for a lack of a better word. So Matthias says, keep up the good work, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Like I said, I really appreciate all the support that I get. Very, very nice. You guys have always pretty much been supportive, of me. You will get more recognition each time, trust me. Yeah, it just takes a lot of time, There's YouTube, there's just a lot of YouTube channels out there, and it just takes a lot of time, Right now, we're just seeing this, proliferation of YouTube channels. There's a lot of them out there, and everyone wants to kind of get their name out there, and that's only normal. But it just takes a little bit of time. But after, I would say it's just about building the foundations. Once the foundations are built, it just it goes up pretty quickly after that. But thank you for that, Matthias. Really appreciate that. Peric Yerma says this is the after effect of winning 3 Champions League in a row. Exactly. Very, very true. Like I said, the players are just, they're oversatiated trophies. They can't get that motivation back. So very, very tough. Sheriff Barry says, Bees, you are the blessed vlog. Thank you so much. And I really, really appreciate that as always. Thank you guys so much. Caesar says 200 subs. Great work. No, thank you. It's all thanks to you guys, like I said. Sheriff Barry says, sorry, I want to say bless you. No, it's all good, Sheriff. Totally understandable. But that's it, guys. I'm going to end it there. Like I said, thank you guys so much for being on. I gave pretty much the recap. Neymar's future obviously gonna be solved in a few, I would say, in a couple weeks or so, but we'll just see it towards the end, really. That's what it comes down to. So gonna end it there, guys. Thank you so much. Like I said, thank you, Parrish. Really appreciate it, as always, for the kind words. And take care, guys. Have a good day. Thank you.